All right, y'all. It's time to shake it off, as Taylor Swift says. If you know, you know. All right. Anyway, time to get back to work and time to start talking about the things we like to talk about. And what we are going to talk about today is what something we've been talking about over the past couple of days, actually, and that's Raincoin. Uh, I don't like to only talk about things when they're kicking ass. I like to talk about them when they're up, when they're down, when good things are happening, bad things are happening. I'm here for the whole journey. And I like to bring you with me through the whole journey because we're learning together, right? We're trying to figure out things about these projects together, whether they're good to invest in, not good to invest in, when's a good time to jump in, when's a good time to jump out. We're figuring it all out, okay? And I find your comments in the comment section to be invaluable. So if you have comments or questions at the end of this video, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. And don't forget to hit the like button for me on the way out. All right, so let's talk quick about rain. Last time we talked about rain, let me pull this over and see if I can make it bigger because this is where we were. Last time we talked about rain, it was around these candles here, okay? And the thing just all of a sudden with two candles went nuts one day. A couple days ago. Yesterday, a couple days ago, whatever. This is a 1 hour chart, so I guess, I don't know. All right, anyway, it went nuts and it went almost up to $15. And I told you in the last video, when we talked about this, I said, yeah, this thing has the ability to go parabolic like this. It really doesn't take many buys, much buy pressure to make that happen because we only have a 1 million market, I'm sorry, not market cap, 1 million circulating supply. If you look over to the left, right, above my head, I guess. Total market cap, 11.34 million. And because it's such a low supply, it's very susceptible to volatility, going up, going down. And I told you, I said, yes, it's gone way up and it's doing real well. That does not mean it can't come back down. And that's exactly what it did, okay? Few different reasons, right? It could be any one of these things, and everybody who sold for their own individual reason, according to their own individual plan. But like we talked about, when you shoot up this high, and it really hasn't been that high, and it's so random and spontaneous and quick. If you want to speculate, you can kind of speculate that, yeah, it's probably going to come back down, okay? So it's very likely that people sold here at the top, right? And it came back down because they figured, well, if I sell some right now, when it comes back down, I can pick up even more. Use house money and grab a little bit more. And I think that that's probably what a lot of people did. So it came back down. It came back down to this zone that we already know people want to buy at, right? We can see that from this candle here. And it came down and that was support, right? It wouldn't really go past that. And that's where it shot up from there. So it came back down to that same level. And then again, people started buying, okay? And it came up. We came up higher than the last time. I mean, we didn't hit that $15 mark or whatever, but we still came up higher highs and higher lows. That's what we want to look for, right? Came up and then we came down again. We came down pretty good. And it could be the same thing. Could be people selling some of what they have, letting it come down, and then taking that money, turning around and buying even more, packing their bags, right, with house money. And think about it, okay? If you sold anywhere in this $13 range, let's say you sold, I'm not going to do the math. You can do the math. Let's say you sold 50 of them, right? And then it came down to this $10, even to $11, $12 range, okay? And you pick some more up. You could have picked a lot for that same, for however much money you got from that. You could have picked up quite a bit more. And now you didn't take any money out of pocket. It was all house money, but you have even more now. So when we start going up again and you get back up to that level, you have even more money, right? your profits are even more. You understand how that works, right? It's pretty simple. And I'm not a mathematician. If I can figure it out, you guys can figure it out. But that's probably what a lot of people did. Or some people might have just said, hey, I'm going to take that money and I got some bills to pay. Or I'm going to take that money and I'm going to diversify and I'm going to put it into some other things as well. I'm going to keep my rain maybe, but maybe jump into this, jump into that. Everyone has their own plan, and you also should have a plan, okay? And if you have a plan, that's a good thing. So anyway, I want to show you something. I want to show you a tool that I found, and I'll tell you what, I don't even know if I'm using this tool correctly because, as I've said a million times, I am not a professional trader. I am learning as I go. But there's a tool here in Dex Tools that is called let me pull it up for you, a regression trend, right? What you do with this thing is you start anywhere you want and you end anywhere you want. And it will give you an average, right? So I'm going to start at this candle here because this is the candle that this was like the God candle or whatever. It really went crazy. And then I'll come all the way to the end to the last candle. You don't have to be exactly right. You can be anywhere in here. Just put it there and let it go. Oop, there we go, right? And it will average out everything in that range, right? So from that candle to the... Here I go. All right, screwing up. Okay, so anywhere in that range, it's going to average all of that out for you. I use this in a specific way. It might not be the way it was meant to be used, but it has been working for me. I break this into zones, okay? And I break this into 4 zones. And I'll tell you what, for me, these zones are. So obviously we have this pink or salmon color zone. We've got this light blue zone. We've got above that. We've got below that. What I do, or how I figure this out, is anything in this salmonish red kind of pink zone, right? I consider that a buy zone. If you look historically, now understand, a chart can ever only show you what has already happened. It cannot show you what is going to happen. But if you look at the trend, right, you can maybe use that to kind of speculate as to what you think is going to happen. And so this pink section, I use this is like a buy zone for me, all right? Because over all this time, this has been in the lower half of this average, okay, below this center line. So that's a great place to buy. Now, if you come below that zone, that's load your bags. That's take the spare powder you have and jump in this thing because it doesn't normally go that low, right? Looking at the trend. The blue section for me that's kind of the hold section, honestly, for me, okay? You can DCA in there if you want, all right? But it's a hold section for me because we know how much volatility this thing can have. It goes up, it goes down, all right? So you'd hold all through this blue section, and to me, above the blue section, like that candle that went crazy, I mean, that really is a sell section for me. And again, whatever you want to do, right? If you want to sell and wait for it to come back down, back into one of those other sections, either the blue DCA dollar cost average section or the red, buy zone, or even below that where you can really load up, right? Whatever you want to do, if you're going to take any profits for whatever reason, that's a good place to take them because it's probably going to come back down somewhere in between that average range, right? That's how I use it. I'm not saying you have to use it that way. And again, that might not even be how you're supposed to use this thing or how you're supposed to read it. But to me, that's what I do, and it's worked out pretty well for me. Now, I did mention, I said, I like to talk about things when they've come back down. And you can clearly see that it definitely has come back down. However, I also want to do this. I want to use a trend line. And I just want to show, I'll start from that same candle, right? And come up even to the lowest point here, all right? The thing is, if you look at the trajectory, you're still on a really big incline. It keeps going up, this thing, right? Rain coin. It keeps going up. because a lot of people are holding. A lot of people are holding. They're not selling. That increases your volatility. That means that when you have a buy between the holders, between the 1 million circulating supply, when somebody, it doesn't take much to move this chart, right? You get some $50 buys, some $100 buys, a couple $100. Never mind when people come in and buy thousands of dollars worth, right? $500 worth, $1,000 worth. You're going to see this chart move. And because so many people are holding and holding tight, it keeps moving in this direction. So, normally, yeah, I've said this before. You see something moving this much and have gone up this high, and you're like, it's too late for me. But honestly, you could have said that back here, right? Let me zoom out and look at this whole chart. So this is, hopefully you can see this, right? But it was kind of traipsing along here for a while. Let's see if I can open it up a little bit, make it a little more visible. Traipsing along here for quite a while, okay, down the bottom, and all of a sudden it took off and ran up, and it ran way up here, right? And you could have said at that point, oh, what's the point of getting in now? That's crazy. Look how much it's run up. You don't get in something after it's run up that much. But then look what it's done, okay? And then it had another one. You might have said, oh my God, look at between here and there. Look how high it's gone up. Look at the percentage. It's gone up thousands of X or whatever, right? It's crazy to get in here. I'd never get in here. But then look what it did. It kept going. And maybe you would have thought the same thing over here. But look what it did. It kept going, right? And then maybe you would have thought the same thing right now. But look how high. This is where it is right now. Look how high it's been able to go already. We already know that, right? Just with a couple, multi-$1,000 buys or whatever, but they keep coming in. We know where it can go. So why would you think it's too late to get in now? The history doesn't say that. The history says, yeah, you can still get in. We still have Bitcoin halving coming. We still have a bull market coming. Not coming quite as fast as I thought it was going to come, but it's coming, right? We have so many things happening. We have MEXC on the cusp of getting on MEXC. And I think Calvin and Adam probably have some other things up their sleeve too, right? I haven't really talked to them about it, but it's just what I'm thinking, okay? It's not too late. It's actually a really good time, especially as much as it's come down right now. It's a great time to jump in if that's what you want to do. I'm not giving you financial advice. I never do that. I'm telling you, in my opinion, I think if you're going to get in, it's a good time to get in. If you're going to get in, that's totally up to you. But that's my opinion. So check this one out. The web page is raincoin.xyz. Look at the main page, read through that. There's also a white paper. If you scroll down to the bottom, you can see the white paper. And it makes it very easy. The contract address is down the bottom. There's a button that says buy Rain, and it will take you right to Sushi Swap. Everything is made very, very simple for you. Ask questions if you have them. Do whatever you need to do your due diligence, and don't dilly-dally. Don't do DD as dilly-dally. Do it as due diligence, but then if you're going to jump in, jump the hell in, okay? Ask me questions. Leave them in the comment section. Love chatting with you guys about this thing. I really, really like it. I'm really, really happy with the way that it's going. And if you could for me, hit the like button on the way out, and maybe I'll say ciao. I'll say ciao in this camera here. I love this. Hey. All right, ciao. I'll talk to you later.